A single radio dish in West Virginia once caught 37 seconds of noise that no scientist has ever fully explained. It came from the direction of a small cluster of stars, and it looked exactly like the kind of signal a civilization might send on purpose. But what's even crazier is that space is full of sounds like this. Recordings that should not exist, echoes that make no sense, and signals that seem to come from places where nothing should be making noise at all. Space is silent. There is no air, no medium for sound waves to travel the way they do on Earth. And yet, we have recordings. Scientists convert radio waves, plasma vibrations, and gravitational ripples into audio, and when you listen, what you hear sounds less like static and more like something screaming into the void. Number 1 on this list starts small, almost gentle, before things turn much darker. Number 1 is the hum of Saturn. In 1980 and 1981, the Voyager spacecraft passed close to Saturn's rings and picked up radio emissions that scientists translated into sound. It comes out as a low, pulsing whistle, rising and falling like breathing. Saturn's magnetic field rotates and interacts with charged particles, generating a signal that repeats every 10 hours or so, matching the planet's spin. Imagine standing on a world where the sky itself hums a single, endless note. That is Saturn. But the next sound on this list does not repeat gently. It cuts through space like a scar. Number 2 is the plasma scream of the Sunday. Our star is not quiet. It boils, it churns, and it sends out waves of charged particles that ripple through the solar wind. NASA converted these waves into audio, and the result is a high, warbling shriek, unlike anything produced on Earth. The sun burns at a surface temperature of about 5,500 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize any material we know instantly. And this sound is only the surface. Beneath it, the sun's interior reaches temperatures near 15 million degrees Celsius, driving nuclear fusion every second of every day. So what happens when a sound like this comes not from a star, but from something that used to be one? Number 3 is the whistle of a pulsar. Pulsars are the collapsed cores of dead stars, spinning hundreds of times per second and sweeping beams of radiation across space like a lighthouse. When astronomers convert that radiation into sound, it becomes a steady, mechanical clicking, fast and relentless. The first pulsar was discovered in 1967, and its rhythm was so precise that scientists briefly wondered if it was artificial. It was not. It was a dead star, still spinning long after its own death. But here is the unsettling part. Some pulsars spin so violently they are only kept from tearing apart by gravity, and their sound has been described as the closest thing space has to a heartbeat. And if a heartbeat exists out there, then so does something closer to a warning siren. Number 4 is the chorus of Earth's own magnetosphere. High above your head right now, charged particles from the sun are colliding with Earth's magnetic field, and the result is a sound scientists call chorus, a rising bird-like chirping that repeats endlessly. It was first picked up by radio receivers decades ago and initially mistaken for interference. It is not interference. It is the sound of our planet's shield absorbing a constant bombardment from space. No shield, no chorus, no protection from radiation that would otherwise reach the surface. And that leaves us with a question. If Earth makes this sound just from being hit by the sun, what does a planet sound like when it has no shield at all? Number 5 is the silence of Mars, broken only by wind. In 2021, a lander equipped with a microphone recorded the actual sound of wind moving across the Martian surface. Thin, hollow, and strange, because Mars's atmosphere is less than 1% the density of Earth's. Sound behaves differently there. High-pitched noises fade almost instantly, while low sounds carry further, meaning a shout on Mars would sound muffled and distant even up close. No thick air, no birds, no rustling leaves, just a thin, cold moan across red dust. If you have made it this far into the sounds of the solar system, drop a like, because the next one does not come from a planet or a star. It comes from something far more violent. Number 6 is the ring of a black hole. In 2022, astronomers translated data from the region around a supermassive black hole into audio, and the result was a deep, groaning tone, almost like a bell struck in slow motion. This came from a black hole roughly 4 million times the mass of our Sun, sitting at the center of our galaxy. Sound cannot travel through the vacuum of space, but pressure waves rippling through surrounding gas can be converted into audible frequencies. And when scientists did this, they produced a note so low it exists 57 octaves below middle C. You would never hear it with your own ears. But somehow, even this is not the strangest thing a black hole can produce. Number 7 is the chirp of two black holes colliding. In 2015, scientists detected gravitational waves for the first time, ripples in the fabric of space-time itself, caused by two black holes merging over 1 billion years ago. When converted to sound, the signal is a short, rising chirp, lasting a fraction of a second. That chirp represents an event so powerful it briefly outshined the combined energy output of every star in the observable universe. No light. No explosion you could see. Just a wave in space-time that reached Earth billions of years after it began. And this discovery raised a question nobody had really asked before. If two invisible giants can collide without a single photon of light escaping, what else might be happening out there, completely unseen? Number 8 is the signal known as WOW. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a burst of radio energy so unusual that the astronomer reviewing the data circled it and wrote one word beside it. The signal lasted 72 seconds, matched the exact frequency scientists use to search for extraterrestrial communication, and has never repeated since. No confirmed source, no repeat detection, no explanation that satisfies everyone. It is not proof of anything, but it remains one of the most tantalizing anomalies ever recorded from the sky. And if a single signal like that can appear once and vanish forever, the next entry raises an even stranger possibility, a signal that repeats on a schedule. Number 9 is the fast radio burst, or FRB, that repeats every 16 days. Discovered through work published in 2020, this particular burst releases enormous amounts of energy in milliseconds, then goes quiet, then fires again on a cycle scientists can actually predict. The leading explanation involves a dense, spinning neutron star, but the regularity is what unsettles researchers most. Something out there is behaving with clockwork precision, and we are still working out exactly why. But the next sound on this list is not periodic at all. It is a one-time event, and it may be the loudest thing the universe has ever produced. Number 10 is the ringdown of a newly formed black hole. When two massive objects merge and settle into a single black hole, that new object briefly vibrates, like a bell losing its ring, before settling into stillness. Scientists have captured this ringdown in gravitational wave data, and it confirms something remarkable, that spacetime itself can vibrate the way a physical object does. No material, no medium, no air, and yet a wave still passes through the emptiness around it. And this brings us to the very edge of what we currently understand. Number 11 is the theoretical hum of the universe itself. Scientists have proposed that a background of gravitational waves fills the entire cosmos, produced by countless black hole mergers happening since the early universe. In 2023, researchers announced strong evidence for this constant, low background hum, present everywhere, all the time, older than most of the structures we can see. It would mean that right now, space-time around you is quietly vibrating, from events spanning billions of years of cosmic history. No silence. Not really. Not ever. Just a hum too faint for your ears, but written into the fabric of everything. Every sound on this list started as something we could not see, translated into something we could finally understand. That is the strange gift hidden inside all of this. The universe does not speak in words, but it is not silent either. It hums, it clicks, it chirps, and every one of those sounds is a clue about how reality actually works. If this journey through the sounds of space kept you listening until the very end, subscribe, because the next video takes you somewhere even stranger, and the universe still has more to say.